Hello, welcome to the Villages, Florida. My name is David. I'm a realtor with Florida Realty Investments, and I can be reached at DavidisinFlorida@gmail.com. Every week, we take a look at what's happening in the Villages real estate market. There's a lot of interesting things as we start this new year. We're really at a pivotal point, and I'll explain to you why, show you how this year compares to last year and what we would hope to see starting right around now. We're going to be producing a year-end special where we're going to take a look at the real estate market here at the beginning of 2023 and compare it to the real estate market as it exists here in 2024. Please make sure you subscribe and you'll be notified when that gets posted. We're going to try to get that up this week. The channel really has changed since we started. When we began, we were trying to get some idea as to long-term trends on prices. We've subsequently focused a lot more on the differences between the different areas of the villages. We're going to cover all of that. We're not abandoning our long-term charts. We definitely want to keep a long-term perspective on what's happening here, but we are certainly expanding what we're doing. And if you have any ideas as to interesting data points that you'd like to see, please let us know. We'll be happy to consider them. A couple of things to note. First, we produce the show every Monday. Make sure you check the date to ensure you're getting the most recent information. Secondly, if you are a buyer, you really need to look at properties both on the VLS and the MLS. A VLS broker will not be able to show you MLS properties, and an MLS broker will not be able to show you VLS properties. Therefore, without both, you won't see everything available for sale. Also, if you're a seller here in the villages, you need to decide whether you're going to be listing on VLS or on MLS. There are advantages and disadvantages to both. Please contact me if you'd like to discuss this any further. So with that out of the way, let's take a look at what's happening in the real estate market in the villages this week. As always, we start by looking at the US government 10-year note. This yield is the yield that most closely tracks the 30-year mortgage rate, which is obviously a significant factor in the value of real estate. For the last 3 or 4 months, the yield has been declining. It dropped by slightly over 1%, which meant that mortgage rates over that same time period dropped from close to 8% to just under 7. I think we're back over 7 now. Looking at this chart, you can determine for yourself whether rates are heading higher or lower. I wouldn't have much confidence in a bet either way in the short term. In the long term, though, government borrowing seems like it's going to remain a problem, so keep that in mind. Here we take a look at all of the current active listings in the villages. We can zoom into this map on any area. We can filter it by size, whether the house has a pool, any other variable you like. This is a proprietary product of ours. If you'd like to investigate any area of the villages using this tool, please reach out to us at DavidisinFlorida@gmail.com. We'll be happy to help you. But moving along, this is a map showing every current active listing in the villages. The size of the circle denotes the size of the property, and the color of the circle denotes the price per square foot. The lighter the circle, the higher the price per square foot. The darker the circle, the lower the price per square foot. And the larger the circle, the larger the size of the house. So let me show you now how I've broken down the 4 areas of the villages into north, middle south, and south. Yeah, we can see all of the active listings currently in what I'm calling the northern part of the villages. This has a boundary in the north of Highway 42 and a boundary in the south of Highway 466. It also includes Spanish Springs. This is the area that I'm calling mid-north. It's bounded on the north by Highway 466 and on the south by Highway 466A. Once again, this map is showing you all of the current active listings in that area. This is the area I'm calling the Mid-South. The northern boundary is Highway 466A and the southern boundary is Highway 44. And this is the area that I'm calling the South. This is everything south of Highway 44. To be frank, if you are a buyer and you are looking to buy in the southern part of the villages, you really should consider looking at what VLS has to offer, because VLS seems to have substantially more properties for sale in the south than MLS does. I think the situation may be reversed in the other areas of the villages. For those looking to buy in the south, though, you really should be looking at MLS and VLS. So now we're going to dive into this week's data, and we're going to start by taking a look at how many listings there are total. 365 as we speak, compared to 342 last week, and compared to 290 for the same week a year ago. 365 listings is the highest that I've recorded. The previous high on March 20th of 2023 was only 363 listings. This is the same information, but this time broken down by region. And you can see that as I described with the maps I showed you earlier, there are four regions: North, Middle, South, and South. You can see how many listings there are in the villages in totality, 363, median size of 1,530 square feet, and a median price of $399,000. In the north, there are 170 properties for sale, median price of $352,000. In the south, there are only 40 for sale, median price of $442,000. I should mention that there is an interesting property that I just noticed today. A property is being auctioned here in the villages over the next week or so. The starting bid is $100,000. It's a 1,156 square foot house. It is located between 466 and 466A, which is what I'm calling the Middle South, one of the most desirable areas here. I doubt that the house will sell for $100,000, but you never know in an auction. If you're interested in learning more about the house or potentially bidding on it, please reach out to me, DavidisinFlorida at gmail.com. Be happy to help you. Here we look at how long properties are staying on the market. The median time on the market for all listings is currently 58 days, up slightly from the 57 days of last week, and also up from the 51 days that was in effect the same week a year ago. It is interesting seeing the median listing time going up with so many new listings. Here's a look at listing time, and here we're breaking it down by region. You can see what the median time on the market is for the properties in each region of the villages. For example, the villages as a whole has a median time of 56 days. There are 76 properties that have been on the market over 100 days. In the north, the median time on the market is 60 days. In the south, 43. In the north, there are 46 properties on the market 100 days or longer. In the south, only two. Here we're looking at all listings again, and we have it broken down by region, get some idea as to what price segment is most active in each of the regions of the villages. If you would like a closer look at any of these charts, please reach out to us at DavidisinFlorida at gmail.com. A lot of this information is already on our website at DavidisinFlorida.com, but please feel free to reach out to us if you'd like something specific. Now we come to one of the most interesting charts of the week, and it has been interesting for the last couple of months. This tracks the difference between the number of new listings and the number of homes going pending. So what we're looking at here is basically weekly data for the prior week. Today's data, the number of new listings is 41. It was 16 last week. It was 43 the same week a year ago. Number of homes going pending was 22. It was 21 last week, and it was 23 the same week a year ago. As you look at this graph, please note that the red line is the number of homes going pending, and for almost a year now, it has been steadily declining. But if you compare it to last year, you can see that around the same time, number of homes going pending really strengthened. I decided to resurface this chart, which in September caused me such distress because, as you can see, the number of homes going pending was substantially below the number of homes being listed. The dark blue line you see at the zero line represents the same number of new listings as homes going pending, and this really represents the demand over the previous 7 days. Granted, there's seasonality, Christmas, etc., but that's pretty much the same year to year. What we're looking at on this graph is a reading over zero means that there are more homes going pending than being listed, which would be a healthy market. Data points below the zero line, though, indicate more new listings than homes going pending, and ultimately that has to put pressure on any market. This next 30 days or so is going to be a key point to notice whether we follow the same trend of last year where homes going pending really started to accelerate from the middle of January onwards. We're hoping this happens again this year. If you want to keep up with the latest data points, please don't forget to subscribe. So now let's dive into homes that went pending. We're looking at homes that went pending over the last 60 days. You can see how many went pending in the villages as a whole, 92. median size of 1,651 square feet, and a median price of $400,000. In the north, 41 homes went pending. Keep in mind, once again, this is the last 60 days. In the south, only 6 homes went pending. Another look at the homes that went pending over the last 60 days. You can see how many homes went pending in each price segment in each region of the villages. Now let's take a look at sales. These are the homes that sold and closed last week. They numbered 18 compared to 25 the previous week and compared to 14 of the year before. Prices on the homes that closed ranged from $148,000 to $700,000. Here's the neighborhood breakdown for the homes that sold and closed. This is over the last 60 days. You can see that there were 199 in total. 97 of those was in the north and only 12 in the south. And a final bit of good news, this is the percentage of listings that have reduced their asking price from the original list price, barely over 50%, compared to 49.7% last week and compared to 46.5% the same week a year ago. That is this week's look at the Villages real estate market. If you're interested in buying a home in the Villages and you're trying to get a good deal, or you're trying to sell your home and you're trying to maximize your return in a reasonable period of time, please reach out to me at DavidisinFlorida@gmail.com. I'll be happy to help you. I'll be happy to research a property for you or a region of the Villages for you to determine what a good price for a particular property might be. Once again, I hope you all have a fabulous new year. And don't forget to visit us at our website, DavidisinFlorida.com. We'll be adding new content all the time. Hope to hear from you. Take care.